Today we will create long layered haircut. First, we will cut the guide in the center. And to round off the overall shape, I will direct the hair on the side slightly to the sides. On the left side, I am over-directing the hair slightly towards the left. And on the right side, over-directing the hair slightly towards the right. That way, when we look at her hair from behind, we will have an overall U-shape outline. For this client, I went ahead and cut the outline all the way on the sides. Then I lowered the seat to create layers. You have to adjust the amount of hair you will put in the layers depending on each client. First, I cut the center guideline. Then I follow the rounded shape of the head. And to mimic the U-shaped outline, I am actually over-directing side of the hair slightly towards each side, as you can see here. On the right side, I'm over-directing it slightly to the right. On the left side, I'm over-directing it slightly to the left. This way, the longest length will actually fall in the center back, mimicking the U-shaped outline that we just created as the first step. Repeat on the sides, checking the length as usual to open up her face a little bit more. On her top sides, I am over-directing the hair towards the front as well to mimic the U-shaped outline, as you can see here. Then we will check the length and cut the bangs. I cut the guide length right at the center, and on the sides, I will use the initial guide length to connect the sides to the fringe. You can see me using sliding technique to connect the fringe to her sides. This technique is often used when there's significant difference in length. On the top as well, I will cut the guideline. Use water sparingly to help control hair as you're cutting. You can see me over-directing the top hair towards the front. This will create gradually longer hair towards the back, thus mimicking the U-shaped outline, and all the layers are in place. Now you can see me using the top guides to cut on the top sides. On the left side, I am over-directing the hair towards the left and towards the front. On the right side, I will over-direct the hair towards the front, towards the right. So I'm looking at hair from all directions as I'm putting in the layers. And you can see me here using pointing technique to texturize the tip of her hair. Texturization is very, very important to create a complete look. Also, textured hair is easier to maintain, especially if you're styling, putting in waves, and doing a perm procedure, which this client did after her haircut. Here I'm checking the balance on both sides and using texturizing shear to texture her bangs so that it can flow away from her face and create that curtain bang effect. Texturization is an important step that's always customized based on the client's hair type and the final design. I'm going in to create more texturization and also remove some of the weight. I'm using slicing technique. Use slicing technique with the amount of hair in mind. You don't want to just go through the motions without actually looking at the work that you're working on. Here I'm using pointing technique to soften the edges. Here I am connecting all lengths and making sure there isn't any corners. Of course, in the case of disconnection haircut, we will not be rounding off the corners. Whereas for this particular client, we are using connecting layers. Now the haircut is complete and we will perform heat waves, which will create larger waves for this client. And you can see in the final results how a layered haircut is perfect for big waves. Before finishing the haircut, always make sure there aren't any little hair strands that you might have missed on the outline. And now it's really complete. Enjoy the final product.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated.